recognize when we get beat, and we got beat by a better team today. So I want to make sure that that's noted. Also, really disappointing loss. There'll be a lot of things that will be bared out by the film, but several things became apparent to me on the sideline. Really disappointed with our lack of discipline, and that, you know, it's easy to say, well, I did a bad job coaching. That's, you know what, but I think we got to look at discipline comes under coaching, and when you have that number of face masks and penalties and things of that nature, we did not put our players in position during fall camp enough to warrant that kind of discipline. So that's really disappointing. I want to be real clear. That's not why we lost the game, but that contributed to it. And so that was apparent. You know, I thought North Dakota did some effective things in the first half, and then in the third quarter as far as some of their sets and motions. The quarterback played well, and they were good on third down. We had a hard time getting off the field on third down, but there were things where we were out-leveraged. You know, it broke into our secondary, and that's disappointing. I understand that sometimes we're going to have a play pop on the first level, but what we cannot have is big plays, and that occurred. Offensively, for us to be effective in our offense, we really need to do a good job being effective on 1st and 10. That doesn't mean that you run the ball all the time on 1st and 10, but certainly our 1st and 10 proficiency or efficiency was abysmal, and I was really disappointed on our ability to run the football. And so we got to take a hard look at that. I know there's been years where we've had a challenge with some of the things out of 3-4. But they still have 11 guys out there on the field, so that was disappointing. I think in the kicking game, you know, some errors there were apparent, and then obviously missing the extra point is a concern. I did think that we punted the ball well and covered well, so that was a bright spot. But this was a very disappointing loss, and I think I need to take a measured view of it because there's not one game. There's a long season ahead, but this is a really disappointing loss, and we've got to come back tomorrow, not tomorrow, but as coaches tomorrow, but Monday, and really take a really aggressive approach on improving, because you know we had a real lack of performance today. And so at this time, I'll open it up to questions that people have.
Craig, did they do anything particular defensively to stop that run that you maybe didn't know or didn't see or didn't expect to see?
Yeah, there's some things. You know, that defense has been, it's kind of feast or famine. In the past, we've gone up against a lot, and I thought they did a nice job being in and out of some things. We had a hard time getting the inside running game going, which is our bread and butter. And then we made some adjustments, and I thought they did a good job. It seemed like when we altered our schemes, they were on top of that. So that's, you know, for our MO, Robert, I mean, we've got two good running backs, and we've got to be able to move the sticks on the ground. And we're not going to be a pass-happy football team in our MO. And so we've got to take a hard look at what's going on in the offensive line. I mean, I'm aware of some things that would be real technical for me to get into. Some of the stuff we prepared for, some of the stuff we were surprised by, and probably didn't do a great job adjusting.
You mentioned, go ahead.
Did you feel to some degree that they almost just beat you at your own game, just power, you know, running the ball really well, playing stiff defense, and very disciplined?
That's accurate, and that's hard for me to say, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And you know, typically the teams we've had have played well in opening ball games. Very rarely have we been quote upset. We got beat, and it wasn't by a close margin. And so there's a lot of work for us to do, and it's disappointing. We've got a seasoned veteran coaching staff. To say that we need mass adjustments would not be accurate. We need adjustments. So this is not a tweaking here or there. we got to get some things straight pretty damn quickly.
Rick, you mentioned on the offensive line. I mean, I know you rotated a couple guys in there. I know at center you rotated your 2 guys. Saw your true freshman at one of your tackle spots. I know you probably wanted was that by design, or was that just trying to light a spark, or what else did you
No,
kind of?
some of it was by design, because sometimes we were going to play 2 centers, and Zach Wallace is a guy at the tackle position, has shown some things with his mobility out there at a 3-4 defense. Sometimes it's not so much a 300-pound guy. It's a guy that can get in the right spot with his feet, and so that's why we were trying a lot of different things, and obviously they weren't all the right things.
Coach Josh Allen had him playing at the end there. Can you just why did you burn his red shirt now?
We had planned all along to play Josh during this season. That was never going to be a term to burn his red shirt. I mean, he's got a lot of ability, and we were looking at finding times to integrate him. Quite frankly, that got brought up. Cam went down with a slight meniscus strain, and so that's when Josh entered the game. So it wasn't a deal where, okay, at the end, let's just get Josh in a futile attempt. It was, Cam had a little bit of meniscus strain, and we wanted to protect him and put the next guy in. So there was no plan to say, quote, burn Josh. We were going to play him.
Is Cam okay? Is that more precautionary to keep him out at the end? Or
the information I got, Robert, was it was a slight strain, and you looked at the score and you looked at the time, and a slight strain. I mean, he was still running, but he wasn't running like he normally could. Mm-hmm. And so you just said, well, let's make a prudent decision here, get the other guy in.
Coach, 13 points in the fourth quarter. Any positives to take away from the fourth quarter performance of the offense?
Well, sometimes when you get in a hurry-up mode, some good things happen, and we'll have to take that. Maybe something that we have to take a look at. I do know over the long haul, for us to say we're going to be a no-huddle, fast-paced football team does not fit our MO, but there's times that's important. And I think, too, sometimes being an old defensive coach, you start looking at the clock, you're looking at possession times, and you say, okay, we can stand a couple yards here, we can maybe stand a touchdown here or there, but what we can't have is just, now they did give up a long touchdown to Tanner, and that sparked some hope there. So the film always is never as bad as you thought, and you never feel as good after a big win, but I can tell you this right now, it's not feeling very good for anybody, for any of those coaches, for any of those players. And the thing that I want to make clear on with our fans, there's nobody more disappointed than those players and our coaches. I know some of our fans, and we're disappointed, but we got to support those players, and I'm going to support those players as a head football coach. If we need to make changes, we're going to make changes, but it's not like they're out there trying to make a mistake. We got to play better.
Coach, outside of Cam's slight knee strain, is there any other injuries that popped up throughout the game?
No, we had a couple guys cramp up, but they finished the game.